right in. No, I would say halfway, but it's not halfway. I suppose it's halfway with the some of the framing. Nearly. It's not. Right, not much to kind of talk about here. So 6.4 meters, we're going end to end. And this is a 4.8 meter length there. Whee! To there. And then there's a join, and then there's an extra section there. And then ignore the fact that there's actually a join there as well, because what we might do is take this and flip the whole thing around that way, just so that we've got a long length, short length, and then long length, and then short length. So there's two walls here, one on top of each other at the moment. So we built the first one, and the second one is built exactly on top of it. Nice and simple. Who am I kidding? I've never done this before, not to this scale anyway. So to be fair to Mike is leading, and I'm kind of chipping in really. So I'd love to claim that I know what I'm doing, but I don't. Although here, it completely makes sense. There's nothing really clever about this. It's just more experience and getting used to doing it. So here's a better example here on the top there. There's a join here somewhere. Can't see it on the camera, but I'm sure it's there. There it is. So on the top piece, there's a join, and then there's 4.8 meters, and then on the bottom wall, somewhere, there's a join, which is there somewhere. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This is self-explanatory. Don't think I really need to spell it out. So there we go, 6.4 meters, two walls. This is the width. Going to be made exactly the same. In fact, we might even make it on top of there. That'll be interesting, wouldn't it? Why wouldn't you? Just measure it. We're going from the inside of this little tiny plinth here to the inside of there. That's the dimension, because of course when this whole thing dries, then that can come off. Now this was only put down, today's Monday, it's midday Monday. Kind of haven't seen much in the way of rain, which is good, but equally no sun. So this was put down on Saturday night, which of course it got rained on. I did in a previous video, you've seen me trying to at least smooth it over. And in terms of like the aspect, is that what it's called? The flatness of it, really happy with it. It's fine. For what we need, it's absolutely perfect. In fact, I'm really quite pleased we managed to get it this flat. If you get some of this wood, some of the long wood, and you'll see where we like scraped it into the ground accidentally, it will actually, this is kind of soft here. Yeah, look, you can see a bit touch there. So you just got to kind of be mindful and almost like kind of walk flat-footed on it, because it is still drying. Realistically, it's going to take 4 or 5 days, and then beyond that, it's probably going to take about 4 weeks to go as hard as concrete. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing really to report about this. It's just framing it. So my intention then is to get this wall up, get this wall up, get the end on, get the end on. If I'm really lucky, we then take the OSB that's turned up here behind that sheet of ply, and we make 5 trusses. That's the idea. We've been looking at the dimensions of this roof. If we can kind of generally follow, that's about 19 degrees, that angle there, like that, from here up there. So we can work out roughly how to project that down to here. I don't really care if it's different. I think it's just aesthetically, it might drop in a bit nicer. If anyone really cares. It's all getting a bit wet here, so walking around, which is a bit rubbish. Last night, in preparation for today, I've got some pea shingle and sort of threw it down, because yesterday we were walking on this slushy mud, like it was horrible, like that. And that's really not pleasant, and we would have just plastered this in mud. So I threw down some pea shingle here, just to help it, just to keep your feet off the mud ideally. And luckily it hasn't rained, so it's kind of working. 2 nail guns on the go, which are invaluable doing this. Still need hammers to finish off the nails that don't quite go in. And there we go. Frame's coming together. For someone who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, just kind of work it out as you go along. Thank you, YouTube, for giving me lots of ideas and stuff. And just, you know, Mike's got a hell of a lot of experience, so it's nice just to have someone else lead and say me follow. I'll probably get to the same place in the end, I think. Just nowhere near as efficiently, nowhere near, I think. Right, decision made. So I had to make some of these in the end, look. Some of these big pointy things. I've just got one more to make, but I'll make it as I'm assembling this one. And there's the wood for it. Right, so that's going to be going over there. So let's just look at this one then. So this one's complete. Probably see what I've done. I've bought my 2 pieces of wood, the 2 long ones together. I've then put this over the top, which I will screw in. I'll place that there somewhere. I'll screw that in. I will then flip this over, boom, over there, because it's obviously pinned by that sheet there. Once it's here, and I'm lying down now with the 2 bits of wood with just that 1 layer on the bottom, I can then insert this piece here, which is one of these. There it is, ready to go. So that will go on top of that piece of wood. I'll nail it in a couple of times, slightly strange angles. I might get some big 90mm nails in a minute. Oh, there they are behind me. Those big chunky linky things. Not chunky at all, but you know what I mean. And then I'll put these in here, and they'll go right down into that piece of wood as well. So I'll just put a couple in there. There is something, right, watch this. Right, listen to the sound, right, as I zoom into those trees. I'm going to count to 10. Listen to the sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It makes it sound like I'm a long way away, doesn't it? Although if I zoom back like this, they like dull the sound down, because it's like, oh, I'm further away from where I am. What? It doesn't make any sense. Right. There we go. Just doing this, I was going to say one-handed. That don't make sense, does it? One-personed. That'll do. Yeah, that was not a lot of fun. Just trying to get those trusses up there. Not a lot of fun at all. Did not enjoy it. Fantastic sky today. Might time-lapse it in a minute. Looks really angry. There we go. The trusses are up. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2, not too bad. 3 is not actually. It's not lined up. It's not centered yet, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's leaning. Yeah, it's a bit skewiffled. But tomorrow was supposed to be the day of doing this, and I always like to get ahead of myself. That makes no sense, I know, but the idea was get these up, try and build the end triangle bits, and then try and put the tarps back over it. And then I've got some whatever you call the stuff, the vapor thingy barrier, to go all the way around the walls, and I can just slice it so we can get in and out of the thing. So the idea was really get the tarps over the roof so all the water runs off, stays on the outside, wrap it. So I'm kind of thinking that generally speaking it should stay dry. Now I'm not happy with this getting wet, but builder friend over the road said don't worry about it. I tried to cover it over with tarps. There's a bit of a flaff. I did it, but it's still got soaking wet. And then it's rained today while we've had the covers off, and it's dried out. It's dried out already. Look, you can see the wet bits right down the bottom. So there you go, my lesson learned. I needed to do it myself though, really, because this was just full of water this morning. Yeah, I mean, this has got properly soaked today. There's no denying it. But already it dries out. I'm kind of new to this. This is untreated CLS. CLS stands for Canadian, I don't know, limpet suckers or something. Canadian, I should know this. Lumber standard, maybe, I'm not sure. I have no idea why it's called CLS in this country, but there we go. Maybe we ship stuff from there. I doubt it. I bet if I look on the label, I bet it's Scandinavian. What does that say? Derome? No idea. C16, it's not even really strong stuff. There's no like other brand on it apart from that. CE mark though, does that mean? It says UK, I don't know if that's origin UK. Dry graded. I've no idea. I really don't care. Right, we're back. Little less fluey cold crap, but look, got a metal roof on. That was hard work. And actually, so one of the neighbours helped put on the fascia, and I had to adjust the two end triangles. I can't call them trusses because they're not trusses. This triangle here, I made it wrong. It was about that much too short. So this whole roof line here was coming down. It was only evident once we took all of the tarpaulin off, and then stood right back there and looked up and thought, hang on, it don't look right. And the same here. So on this side, you can see where we've had to compensate. That gap. So it had to be separated, take that piece off there. Yeah, this beam here had to be separated from this post. You separate it there, there, splay it open, and then the piece was inserted into it. Another way of doing it was on the other end. It was this way. Because I'm lazy, this is my idea. Take that piece off. Again, separate here, separate there, and then knock this out, knock all the nails out, slide it along, because obviously now it's in a small little triangle. And as you can see the difference here, it was right above there. But now, because we've lifted this up, it's had to slide along a bit. So exactly the same there. And of course those went that way and that way. And then put it back together. So doing that, putting the fascias on, unfortunately took about 5 hours of the day that I was intending to put the roof on. So we only had about 2 hours to put the roof on, which meant that we got the first 3 sheets in up there. And then I was in big trouble, so I kind of winged it, and luckily it didn't rain. Otherwise, I stopped talking then because I just felt water hit me. That's raining. That's not good. I'm staring at this puddle. There's water falling here. That isn't good, and the reason is because there's a builder down there starting to build the gate posts and the entrance to the driveway. And it's all, I was just about to say that in here it's actually drying out nicely now, because we got the metal roof on, which was day 2. Alan, thank you very much for all your help, came out, so I was up on top, scooting around up there. Alan was doing the heavy lifting, trying to pass the sheets up to me and giving me instruction really, just to get all of this done. So that was so appreciative that that's done, because it was not a lot of fun. There's definitely water coming in through here. That is raining. No. Rain is bad right now. Damn it. Never mind. It's windy and it's threatening to rain. Look at the leaves blowing around in the air. It's just... Anyway, do not climb up the ladder. Right, so he is. I need to put this to a position where he can't climb up it, because he will. He's looking, that's what he's whining about now. He wants to go up there. Nope. Okay, I've got to get this ladder down. How am I going to get this ladder down? Someone's built a roof in the way. Right, so the tin is on. Let's have a look at it from the outside. Is there much to report on the outside? No, not really. Really pleased with the front edge. It looks really nice. The overhang is just absolutely perfect, I think. Just gagging for a bit of this now. Whatever it is, 14cm guttering here. To take the water away, then this hopefully here will transition this space, and especially around the back, put it on there. So let's point up at right up there. So there is a like a foam insert along that edge, all the way along there. So the ridge, there's 3 ridge sheets up here, and they're obviously on top of these panels. And there's an insert there. There is no insert here. So the idea is that air can get into here. So as that condensates, even though it's got an anti-condensation layer on it. It's like fluffy stuff. Oh, here we go. There it is. That's called anti-con, and clearly it's not on the edge where they overlap. So where they overlap right there, it's not there, and then there, it's not there. Just so sandwiched together nicely. So we've got foam inserts right the way along the front. We managed to beg, borrow, steal, buy some to go across there for this particular profile of roof. That foam insert that's up there is actually different for different types of profile, so we had to match them. We've got it right the way across the front, and then on the other side, right the way across down to there, stops there somewhere. So there's about a metre at the end, and what we're going to do is, because it's on the back, we're going to use expanding foam around the back just to fill the gap in. And I'm going to go inside now where this foam is up there. You won't be able to see the foam because it's on top of that sheet. I'll point right up there. Where the sheet comes up, the foam is just over that lip, just over there, about there somewhere. So there's a bit of a gap, so I'm going to put some expanding foam in there, and hopefully it won't come out the front and disturb the foam, but it will seal everything up. And then I do the same right the way along here, and of course down to that gap. There's no foam along there, so if expanding foam goes in there and it spills up the back, it won't be visible, so don't care. Right, so in a minute, the order is I'm going to get some of this breathable membrane here, and I'm going to finish off across here. I'm then going to go up there an angle, down there an angle, up there, down there. Please stop whining, it's really annoying, child. Oh, that worked. No, it didn't. And once the breathable membrane's up, then I can get this stuff, OSB3. It goes across the back there. You can see by the light, look, it's not behind there. So I'm going to put another sheet in there. Probably either trim it or put another piece in here. Going to come across here with the OSB3. I've then bought some real creosote, and I'm going to mix it with my Creocoat and engine oil and diesel and stuff. Make my own mix, and I'm going to coat this OSB on the back. It has got a coating on it. It's supposed to be waterproof, stroke resistant, but never mind. I'm going to blat it all at the back just to protect it. And I will probably, if I can, come along again behind this screen here, maybe 1 or 2 boards here. And the intention is, if I can come to about here with 2 sheets of OSB, 1, 2, just very roughly, this piece here will be feather edged on the outside. So if I go outside and stand over there, looking back this way, I'll see a nice pretty feather edge here, but there's no point putting it down here. So I'll just put OSB on there and put a treatment on it, and we're done. Feather edge right down the front. Stop, you're annoying, go away. So a real quick look at here. So all the faces on as well, which is nice. Pleased with that. It's definitely drying out, so that's why I was a bit disappointed that it's going to try and rain on me. I've clearly got some tidying up to do, which I'll try and do in a minute. And this is the only thing to Alan snap this together, because when I was on the roof, it looks quite shallow, but it's when you blend. There's a wheelbarrow there. When you blend wet sand onto the bottom of your shoes and then stand on there, it acts as like a perfect lubricant, which meant that I kept on sliding down. So this ladder here just hooks onto the top ridge, and it just lets me at least get 1 foot onto it as I'm moving around up there. That was ridiculous. Somehow he got onto there, somehow he got onto there, somehow he got to there, somehow he decided he'd go through that slot, and all the front of him did, except for the big belly and arse bit. Oh, that sounds familiar. Brilliant. It was just a back end of a cat sticking out. Had to rescue him. Right, back on track, back to the time lapse. Let's put the phone down somewhere. That was actually harder than I thought it would be. This gap down the back here is only 50 centimetres wide. So to put a ladder up there, climb up it and sort of do some work up there was not easy. Never mind. Never is it? Oh, here we go again. Yeah, because you're a kitten and you can fit anywhere. You're not a big fat heifer, are you? Heifer's female, isn't it? That's wrong, isn't it? Oh, what, yeah, why didn't you go on that roof? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, problem solved. I should close it up quick. Right, here we go.